When I was about halfway between 5 and 10, I remember how during summer vacations we would visit our relatives in Ukraine. They lived in a cozy country house and, apart from other animals, bred rabbits. The pets had satisfying and fun lives, and at those times I learned a lot about the relationships between the sexes. And they were constantly trying to dig holes, in such a persistent manner, as if they were criminals doomed to live in captivity. It seemed to me that they had a premonition about their fate and just wanted to get away. But I was explained that burrows are dug for protection from predators, to raise a litter of young in safety, and to shelter from the elements. But under the circumstances, it was not just a rudimentary instinct, was it? I was not gullible enough to fall for such a dull interpretation. My freedom-loving explanation seemed to me a lot more logical. I'd already read Alice in Wonderland, and I always believed that it was my girlfriend Ola, a blonde tomboy with forever unhealed knees and scratched hands, who actually bore the name Alice. I even told her in secret that her name in English sounds like Olisa, which probably should have inspired her to search for that rabbit hole, a journey into depths of which promised many dangerous and crazy discoveries and adventures. In fact, the English idiom "a rabbit hole" is used in a negative way when talking about a complexly bizarre or difficult state or situation conceived of as a hole into which a person falls or descends.
I wanted to show this woman descending into the rabbit hole, this loss of self, becoming a servant to her job and to the work.
It is especially said of a situation in which the pursuit of something, such as an answer or solution, leads to other questions or problems.
In the Season 2 premiere of HBO's Westworld, viewers were again tossed down a rabbit hole filled with theories, where one open door leads to many more closed ones.
Because it is so early on in this work, it is easy to say that we are either at the edge of a remarkable new and useful science, or that we are careering down an environmental rabbit hole.
While trying to find the picture again on Google, I fell down the Cosmo rabbit hole, scrolling through a gallery of swimwear, then through how to be sexier instantly, and then through all 23 slides of sexy ideas for long hair.
A rabbit hole means a journey down a never-ending tunnel with many twists and turns on the internet, never truly arriving at a final destination, yet just finding more tunnels. Clicking one link, then finding another on that page, then clicking another link on that page, and which gives you the idea to search again for something, and the process repeats. It's a nonsensical process of getting from point A to point B with no clear route and often no recollection on how you got there. Several examples in the longer context.
Suicide boys are healing together through family and music. If you ask Reddit users, the Suicide Boys are dead. The tall tale goes as following. The original New Orleans duo died in a fiery car crash at the start of 2016, and the two cousins that fans see on the road and hear on their most recent records are clones, composed of DNA pulled together by the original pair's fathers. While lounging in their hotel room before a show in Richmond, Virginia, Ruby DeCherry and Dollar Prim confirm with Billboard that internet myth is correct. That is true, Ruby says of the theory matter-of-factly. I've seen that theory, and the one thing I will say is that it is true. That's the one thing the fans figured out, Dollar Prim adds. Sarcasm or not, to explore Suicide Boys' lore is a mission within itself, plummeting down a never-ending rabbit hole, filled with a plethora of conspiracy theories and alter egos, many of which the duo can't keep track of.
Best-selling novelist Jarrett Kobek believes he's uncovered the true identity of the Zodiac Killer. His research into the cultural references in the killer's cryptic letters led him down a rabbit hole and, ultimately, to an eccentric man named Paul Dorr, who died in 2007. But Dorr's daughter, Gloria, isn't so sure until Aaron Gell suggests that the two of them come together to meet. I'm in no way immersed in the subculture of cold case web sleuths, but Gell's story hooked me from the start. And it was impossible not to picture the movie version of this piece in my head as I was reading. As Gell shows, the evidence against Dorr might be the strongest yet, especially after chilling conversations with Gloria about her father, her childhood, and their relationship. Even if Kobek is just another amateur detective making this claim, Gell's piece demonstrates how easy it is to become obsessed with unsolved cases like these.
Do you even know what the Victory Project actually is? Have you ever asked?
Do you?
Please. What's actually happening?
Stop it, Alice.
What if this place is dangerous? What if... Stop it!
No. Jack, it's okay. I'm curious to hear where she's going with this.
The visuals borrow heavily from 1960s films like the Sean Connery James Bond movies, but also from Mad Men. The stifling mid-century marriage between Alice and Jack recalls that of Revolutionary Road. Alice's realization that she is being gaslit and her eventual escape echoes the finale of Get Out. Alice's name may be a nod to the Alice who falls down the rabbit hole into a topsy-turvy world in Alice in Wonderland. The simulation plot recollects films like The Truman Show and Pleasantville.
Sanity snapped back like a rubber band and kept me from following a manufactured dream down a rabbit hole, slipping into the abyss of make-believe. I didn't give Angela my banking information. I wouldn't know what to do with a Bitcoin if it bit me in the ass. After a week of emails and her stated desire to spend her life with someone she never met, moi, I decided it was time to put an end to all the nonsense.
Generally speaking, when someone finds themselves in a hole or a bunker, it means getting into an embarrassing, awkward situation or a predicament. This year, the quasi-empire launched a small, victorious special operation, the original objectives of which have long been forgotten. The military, ideological and economic consolidation of the so-called collective West has given rise to new goals, equally delusive ones. The cringe, mobilization, and the economic collapse put the half-wits in the zugzwang position. And looming in the darkness, the international tribunal acquired the characteristic taste and smell of that least attractive and desirable organ or area. To put it frankly, an asshole in the asshole of the world.
There's been some debate about that.
I never get involved in politics. You'd best be on your way.
Of course, it's not a rabbit hole to descend for the freedom-loving, lustful rabbits from our childhood and the madcap girl Alice, who discovers new worlds, finds new real friends and defeats the Red Queen and her whole pack of vile, thievish, brutal and caricatured henchmen, who's placed in the fetid black hole.
I don't care. From the moment I fell down that rabbit hole, I've been told what I must do and who I must be. I've been shrunk, stretched, scratched, and stuffed into a teapot. I've been accused of being Alice and of not being Alice, but this is my dream. I'll decide where it goes from here.
In the coming year, the new forward school of global English and foreign languages wishes you to make the right choice. It is us who decides, and it is you to make the right choice. whether to fall down into a complete hopeless asshole or to move forward into an unknown world of new discoveries and dimensions.
Gonna keep on walking forward.